Hey there guys, Tom here, welcome back to my movie channel and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the brand new episode of The Mandalorian Chapter 15, The Believer. If you guys haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you guys never miss out on my take on all things Disney Plus shows, and boy did we get a lot of those announcements today, woo! So Chapter 15, The Believer, picks up right after where we left off in the last episode of The Mandalorian. Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, Cara Dune, the Mando are off to get Bill Burr's character Mayfeld so that he can get them into an Imperial facility on the planet Morag. Not Morag from Avengers, Morak, whatever it's called, so that they can get the coordinates to Moff Gideon's ship. I like this episode. I don't think it's, one of my favorites of the season. I think I've preferred basically every other episode this season except for episode 2. This is probably my second least favorite episode of the season, but it's still a good episode. I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Bill Burr, I like as a comedian, but his character, like the Bill Burr-isms of his character kind of get a little bit irritating, but I think that's intentional, and I think the character is meant to kind of annoy you because the fact that he doesn't shut up. But what was really cool about this episode was, again, we see Pedro Pascal's face when he goes into, they get the rhodonium or whatever they're transporting, the explosives to the facility, and Mayfeld and Mando are walking through it, and they walk in the cafeteria. They get up to the terminal's got to scan your face. Mayfeld doesn't want to do it because one of his fellow former Imperial officers may recognize him. So Mando has to go up there, and I thought there's no way he's taking off that helmet. But hey, he's got to rescue the child. He'll do whatever he has to do to get there. So off with the helmet. And once again, we see Pedro Pascal's face as the Mandalorian. I really hope now, like more and more as this series goes on, that, the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, learns about, because he's learning about all these different types of Mandalorians, and they're not all part of this same sex cult that his group was. And so, hopefully with him learning about what it means to be a Mandalorian and what it means to be different kinds of Mandalorian, there isn't just one way, that he gets more comfortable taking off that helmet and we see more of his face because he's Pedro Pascal, and damn it, he deserves to have his face seen. Rick Famuyiwa did a great job directing this episode. This episode was good. I really did enjoy it. I loved the scene, and then following on from that when he's scanning his face and then the Imperial officer comes over. It's a really good tension-filled scene where you got Mayfeld, Mando, and this evil Imperial officer sitting there talking about, the death and how it's going to bring order, and you can just feel the tension. It was some really good acting out of Bill Burr in that moment because you could see in his face that he just wanted to shoot this guy. And I could see it coming, and then bang, takes him out, and then they break out of the facility. And then, of course, you have Boba Fett coming in with the slave one, rescues them, and then the TIE fighters start following, and I thought, okay, I really would like him to drop one of those seismic charges from episode 2. And then what did he do? Drop the seismic charge from episode 2, and that wonderful I might have, anyway. But look, aside from that, I don't think there was really much to get out of this episode. Aside from the very last scene where, of course, Mando sends a hologram to Moff Gideon saying, basically, we're coming for you. Mandalorian is basically John Wick at this point. He's basically gone full John Wick. He's going to kill whoever he's got to kill to get what he wants. And he's got Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, Cara Dune to help him along the way. I have a suspicion that Bo-Katan is going to turn up in the season finale, because, why wouldn't she turn up in the season finale? But I am just pumped for next week's episode, the season finale, The Mandalorian. I am so damn excited. Bring it on. I want to know what you guys thought of this episode. Make sure you jump down in the comment section below and let me know what you thought of this week's episode of Mandalorian. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? I thought this episode was good. I really don't have any major complaints about the episode. It's certainly not one of my favorites of the season, but it's certainly not a bad episode either. So once again, thank you very much for watching. My name is Tom. I will see you guys next week. May the Force be with you always.